Shama Sastri was a old Orthodox priest of the local Durga temple. He is about 70 years old and he has 3 sons. Eldest is blind, middle one is deaf, and the youngest is lame. His wife is known for accuse of God, and he was in pressure all the times with overtension and stress. Whenever he starts his sadhana, his wife was there for Daivaninde, and thus he was unable to answer the common questions of the relatives also, why God was so partial to him, why the Almighty was so merciless towards him. In utter confusion, he wrote a letter to Sri Guruji for divine guidance. Sri Guruji clearly disclosed the inner secrets. Shastriji wanted to become Durga Dasa, and he was a sincere sadhaka too. But gradually he became more stuck for rituality rather than spirituality, and his sadhana became more mechanical rather than methodical. Sachiji's father was also a priest, and because of the karmic stock, he had 3 mutilated children. Thereto, if he were to develop intimacy with God, the result would have been better. Says Sri Guruji, inculcate blessedness with God and practice premakalaha with God with intimacy, introspection and invigilation. Love and excuse your wife. Advise her with affectionate soothing words. Nobody can understand Daivecha or Daivalile. God's will is unique. We have to stand under, and then only we can understand that. Humbly beseech at his feet and beg his pardon. Not even a second sadhana is wasted. So practice your sadhana with intimacy and gratefulness. Let this pressure be a new vista to feed you immense pleasure. After knowing Sri Guruji's divine message, Shastriji became more devoted and determined. Case number 5. Billiyappa is a principal of a college, favorite of all students. His only son is studying in the final year degree class in the same college. Soon after the class hours, the son has to go for special tuition. However, many days have passed since the son fails to talk freely with the father. One night, the son taps the door of the father's room at 2 a.m. with a AK-47 rifle and shouts, "Daddy, I shoot you now." The father, just with folded hands, advises the son to control his emotions and requests at least one more day time to discuss freely with the bitter situation, and bows down to the only son with utter helplessness. The next day, the father comes to the divine park and begs Sri Guruji for divine solution. Sri Guruji clearly says like this: "See, you are an expert teacher. You are very favorite to all students too. But you have no time, even a single second, to be free with your only son. Your son gets irritated when all students praise him for his golden opportunity of being your son, but there has developed a big communication gap between both of you all these days. So in utter despair, your son was really fatal to you. Now, you have to correct your behavior. Today, go directly to home. Welcome your son in the evening when he returns from the college with your sweet voice as, "Oh my dear son, please excuse me. I will be always very close to you in future. Please bear with me. No need to worry." Thus, you should assure him of bright relationship in future and patch up the bitter circumstances. I will be with you. Don't worry. Go ahead. Belliyappa went home with full swing, and in the evening, as Sri Guruji intended, he welcomed his only son, and both were in tears. The son begs excuse from the father for his blunder, and this father has no words to console the only son. Here the tight pressure was created by a big communication gap and lack of love and affection. And when Sri Guruji showered the divine way out, the pleasure was abandoned. Many times, it so happens, because of the communication gap, the pressure increases in the family too, and if only by divine intervention, pressure can be changed to pleasure. Here, what is important is utmost faith, devotion, and yearning in the God. Belliyappa has developed that firm faith and utter devotion and even yearning in Guruji at this juncture of critical period of his life. Though he is a principal of a famous college with modern doubts and questions, when he came to Sri Guruji with utmost guilt consciousness and helplessness, he became zero at his feet. He was in tears and he was craving for an easy solution that day. Guruji was so gracious to give this divine message to him, and he was 100% obedient to Sri Guruji, and with utmost humility he obeyed Sri Guruji, and he showed his 100% affection towards the only son, and the communication gap was corrected nicely and wisely. Many a times it so happens, because of lack of time, we ourselves behave like this, and we ourselves suffer from so many difficulties. Usually, unity, harmony, and integrity can be cultivated very easily, provided we open our eyes and broaden our heart. But in this age of tension, we have no attention towards daily sadhana, and we lack 100% because of our ignorance or arrogance. So Belliyappa corrected his nature and connected himself to the divine communication, and the pressure has been nicely changed to excellent pleasure therein. Let us hope all our pressures definitely change to pleasure like this, and let our life be blissful forever.